Today on the Sartorial Chef, we are going Greek once again. And what is more Greek than a traditional hummus, a toasted pita? Next is my chicken soup with a lemon broth and couscous. Lastly, for the entree, it's roasted feta potatoes with marinated tilapia and an olive tapanade. So why don't you pull up a chair and dine with me?
Today is a Greek feast, and I have several things planned for you. But first, we're starting with my tilapia here. I'm going to marinate this. So I've just got 2 fillets here. And this is going to go right into my bag. And the other one. I love a nice flaky piece of fish. Tilapia is great. It's a white fish. It's mild, not too fishy. And it goes great. You can pair some different flavors with it. And kind of just works almost like a blank canvas. You can do almost anything you want with it. So, I've got my fish here in the bag. We're going to do some olive oil here. About a 1/4 cup. And I've also got a lemon. I'm just going to roll this guy a little. Get some of these juices released. The real flavor of the lemon is in the rind. A lot of people don't realize that. The juice is just tart, but the rind gives you a little bit of that sweetness. So when you roll the lemon like this, you release those oils into the juices. I'm just going to cut that in half and give that a nice little squeeze right into our bag here. Nice. And the other one here, this is just a whole lemon. Okay, that's awesome. A little salt. A couple teaspoons of salt. About a teaspoon of pepper. And then I've also got a little garlic here. Just going to throw some of that right in. This is chopped garlic. What I like about this, a little bit goes a long way. And it's already chopped for me, so it's nice and accessible. And then I've also got here some baby dill. And I'm just going to throw a big old sprig of that right in here. And close this guy up. Seal it nice and tight. And then I'm just going to come in here kind of and massage this. Work all the flavors around. Because I want both of the fillets to be equally covered with this delicious marinade we just put together. And then I'm going to set this in the fridge for a few hours. And we're going to move on. Alright, our fish is marinating. Onto our soup. I've got my soup pot going already, just a few tablespoons of oil. And I'm chopping up 1 whole onion here. Because a good base to any soup is onion. Any kind of sauteed vegetables. Vegetables have a lot of flavor and they flavor your broth. Alright, there's 1/2, and here's the other. This is going to go right into our skillet. Alright. Listen to that onion sizzle. I'm going to give that a little salt and pepper here. And then we're going to come in here and give this a little stir. Let those onions cook down a little bit. They're going to get nice and caramelized in this oil. Real soft and tender. And the salt and pepper are going to bring out those natural juices of the onion. I also have here a couple of cans of chicken. So this is one of my money-saving moments. Whole chicken breast, unless it's on sale, it can be pretty pricey. Now, a traditional way of cooking the soup is that you actually boil the whole chicken in the broth and let it cook down, and then you take it out and shred it and add it back. Well, this chicken is already shredded. And yes, it doesn't taste like much now, but like I said earlier with our fish, chicken is also a bit of a blank canvas. And this is going to take on the flavors of our soup. And you'll never know the difference. And this chicken's already cooked, so that's also going to save the cook time on our soup. Because it takes quite a while to boil the whole chicken and then shred it up. So we're saving a lot of time here. Okay, I'm going to give these onions one more stir. They're cooking down nicely. They're looking good, guys. Now I've got some more of my garlic here. We're just going to finish this off. I like to wait and add my garlic till after my onions have cooked down a bit, because garlic cooks a lot quicker and it's going to burn. So we want to be very mindful of that. Nothing tastes worse than burnt garlic. It's very bitter. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw my chicken in. And these are just 2 medium-sized cans of chicken. Okay, we're letting that cook down. Okay, now for the lemon. Can't have a lemon chicken soup without the lemon. First, I'm going to grab a little zest here. It's a nice big lemon, so we're going to get a lot of zest off of this. Zest, what I like about the zest, it has kind of a floral quality to it. Also a little bit of sweetness as opposed to the juice, which is mostly tart. So this is going to give us a lot of flavor here. It's going to be a very aromatic soup. And I want to throw this in before the broth because I really want that chicken to get some of this lemon flavor onto it. So this is just one whole lemon here. Okay. Go ahead and throw this right in. Yum. It is already smelling amazing, you guys. The lemon just really brightens things up, and as soon as it hits that oil, it just fills the room. Alright, I'm going to turn that down just a little. I also have a little more of this dill here. I'm just going to break that off. I'm just going to come in here. Dill, you don't want the stem, you just want the little fronds. So I just come in here with my knife and kind of shave this down. And I really love dill and lemon together. I feel like it gives you, they're flavors that play really nicely together. And then I'm just going to come in here and give this a little mince. I'm going to be careful when you're working with your knife that you keep your thumb out of the way. And just kind of go back and forth. Alright, some nice minced dill. And that's just about a tablespoon of dill. And this guy will sit in here. Give this another generous stir. That lemon and that dill. Absolutely amazing. Now, time for the chicken stock. And this is just 32 ounces here of the chicken stock. I'm just going to throw that right in. And then what we're going to do when this starts to boil, we're going to add our couscous, which is going to give our soup a lot of body here. It's almost going to kind of be like a chicken noodle soup. with the couscous. Now, what a lot of people don't realize, couscous, a lot of people think is a grain. It's actually a pasta. They're really tiny little pasta pellets. It's used a lot in Middle Eastern cooking, Mediterranean, North Africa, and today it's going to go in my soup. Okay, we're going to put a lid on this and just let it go. Now, while our soup is cooking down, we're going to move on to our hummus. I love a good hummus. It's a nice appetizer, late night snack. Delicious. So we're going to start on my pita. I've got some pita here. And I've already got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. This is going to go in the oven here. I like to let it get nice and crisp. It'll be soft in the middle, but you'll have some texture to it. And you need that texture because the hummus, it's a little thick. So you need something with a little crunch to it that's going to hold up to that. So I'm just going to cut this into triangles here. 4s I think are good. And then I'm going to drizzle my pan here with a little olive oil, the rest of my olive oil here. And then I'm just going to lay these down. Come in here with clean hands. I'm just going to toss this around in my oil. And the oil is going to help crisp these up nicely. And just for good measure, I'm going to sprinkle a little more on top. That's going to go in the oven for about 10 minutes. And we'll make our hummus while these are baking off. Let me just set the timer here. Alright. On to the hummus. Garbanzo beans, or chickpeas, is the base for any good hummus. Now I just want to drain this liquid off here. So these will go in first. Just 1 can, that's all you need. Now our lemon here that I have zested, I'm going to juice that in here. 1 whole lemon. And this one here, and you just want to watch for seeds. That's terrible. Oh, gosh. Oh my god, that lemon was pinned. Okay, oops. Oh, I didn't do this. This is weird. I guess they came from the pan. Okay, that is our lemon. Now, alright, that is our lemon. Also key is tahini paste. I've got just some here. Tahini paste, it almost behaves like a nut butter, but it's made from sesame. So you don't have that sweetness that you would from like a peanut butter or an almond butter. It almost has kind of an earthiness to it. It can be a little strong by itself, but it's gonna give some nice body here to our hummus and some nice flavor. And I'm gonna do just a couple tablespoons here. And you see that oil sitting on top? I'm actually going to use some of that too because that's going to help emulsify our mixture here. So that's 2 tablespoons of that. course, just 2 tablespoons of our tahini. Okay, next, a little cumin here, which I feel is also going to play into the earthiness of the tahini. I'm going to do about a half teaspoon of the cumin here, just a little, to give it some presence. And of course, some pepper. A couple teaspoons of salt. A teaspoon of black pepper. And we are ready to give this a go. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, that looks great. Let me get a bowl here. Okay. Let's go ahead and dish this right up. Oh, and it already smells amazing. I smell that tahini and the lemon. Now let's check on our pita. Oh yeah. Nice and crisp. Okay, we're done with the oven. Alright, let's give this a taste here. I just love hummus and pita. It's a nice little pie. So good. Again, that tahini and the cumin, nice earthiness. Big flavor. Then you got that lemon, just brightens it up. The chickpeas, they don't have a lot of flavor on their own, so you really have to throw some big flavors in here. When I come back, we will finish off our soup. Okay, this soup is boiling away, and I'm ready to throw in my couscous here. I'm just going to go ahead and dump in this whole package. Just one small package here. And we want to give this a little stir. Now what's great about the couscous is because it's such a small grain of pasta, it does not take long to cook at all. So I'm just going to continue to let this go. And they're going to plump up and get nice and tender. And then lastly, we're going to finish the soup off with some feta here. Alright, I'm going to turn this guy down. It is bubbling away nicely. Our couscous has fluffed up beautifully. Now I'm just going to throw this feta in and just kind of stir it in. It's going to add a nice little bit of gooey saltiness to our soup here. I'm just going to lightly stir that in. Now all we need is a bowl and a spoon. Bigger ladle here. Smells heavenly. And here we are, my lemon chicken soup with couscous. You can see the couscous has gotten nice and plump and tender here. It's good and hot. Mmm. That's good. The onions and the garlic, the lemon, the dill, gives that broth a nice fragrant note. You get some saltiness from the feta. And using the broth and everything, it pulls out those natural flavors of the chicken. You would never know it's canned chicken. Absolutely amazing. Alright. Next, we're going to be moving on to my fish. With that, I will be making some roasted potatoes and an olive tapanade to go on top, so stay tuned. Alright, we are back. Last is the main course, and it is my marinated fish, lemon and dill. And for the side, I'm doing a roasted potato. Well, pan-fried potato. We're going to keep with the same lemon theme here. I've got another lemon. It's going to be lemon potatoes. So I'm just slicing 3 medium potatoes here. I've got a skillet here with some oil in it. I'm just going to add a little more oil here for good measure. And this is a really simple dish. It's just salt, pepper, a little lemon zest. We're going to finish them off with a little more of that feta from the soup. I'm starting with potatoes first because they're going to take longer to cook than my fish. My fish literally just a few minutes on each side and you're done. I'm going to let those go. In the meantime, I'm going to get started on my tapanade, which is going to go on top of the fish. Now, a tapanade, it's an olive kind of accompaniment, almost like a relish. It's got some different flavors in here that are really going to complement the fish nicely. So I've got some olives here. Alright, so I've got my olives here. Just a whole jar of olives. I like using the green olives. I like the color that gives. I also want a little lemon here. But I'm going to zest the rest of this first because I want it for my potatoes. So I'm just going to go ahead. We don't need as much zest here as we did for the soup because we only have a little bit of potatoes. So I'm only going to zest about half of this lemon. Okay, I'm going to cut into this guy here. And I'm just going to use about half this lemon. Again, we want to make sure we're watching for seeds. Alright, I've got some capers here. We're going to use the rest of this jar here. So I only have a little bit here. This is going to play nicely with the brininess of the olives. And just to really bring those flavors home, some anchovy paste. Now, anchovies can be a little strong. Some people like them, some people don't. So I'm literally going to be adding just a 1/4 teaspoon. That's all we need. Trust me. Okay. And of course some salt and pepper. So it already has a little saltiness from the capers and the brine of the olives. So I'm just going to do about a teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're going to give this a good toast. Alright, that is looking good. I'm going to set that aside. That is going to be a nice topping for our fish. I'm ready to flip my potatoes now. Go ahead and hit these guys up with a little salt and a little pepper. And we're going to give them a flip. And I'm also going to get my skillet going here for the fish. Like I said, this fish is going to cook quick. Just a couple minutes on each side. It's a small fillet. It's not going to take long to cook. We just want it cooked through. Fish dries out very easily. Alright, a little more salt and pepper on these guys here. And I'm going to let those cook down. And I'm going to throw my lemon zest in here. This is just about a teaspoon of lemon zest. I know what you're thinking. If you're not used to Greek cooking, you're thinking lemon and potatoes. But trust me, guys, it works. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, our fish is coming out. My pan is nice and warm. I'm going to get around this sprig here. Oh yeah, and you can listen to that fish sizzle. That is exactly what you want. A nice hot skillet. We're just going to sear this fish on both sides. Give it a nice crust. Rinse my hands off. Always rinse your hands off when you're working with raw meat. Okay, these potatoes are looking good. I'm going to turn them down. Alright, this fish is sizzling nicely. Alright, I'm going to turn my potatoes off. I'm going to hit it with the rest of this feta. I'm just going to take that off the heat. Time to give our fish a flip. But I'm going to season it. Just a little more salt and pepper. You can tell when your fish is ready to flip because it pulls away from the pan. Oh, that looks beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Just a little more salt and pepper here. And you don't even need any oil, any butter in your skillet. Your marinade is just enough. Alright, I think our fish is good to go. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to take that off the heat too. And to finish it off, just a little splash of lemon. A little lemon on each piece. Lemon and fish, you can't go wrong. Alright, now my potatoes, I'm just going to throw them right onto the plate. And then I've got my beautiful fillet here. Beautiful fish. And get a little bit of my tapanade here. And I'm just going to kind of spoon this right over top. Just enough to give it presence. Let's grab a fork and dig in. So this is my marinated tilapia with olive tapenade and my Greek lemon feta potatoes. I think I'm going to start with the potatoes here. Nice crispy guy here. Nice tender potatoes. And you get that crunch. Something about the lemon. You know, potatoes, especially fried potatoes, can be really heavy. And the lemon just brightens it up. It gives it like a whole different identity. And then of course you have these little bits of feta. That just melt in your mouth. Now to the main course, my fish. And a good piece of fish should just flake away. Just like that. Absolutely amazing. The tapanade, you want it to be kind of chunky, almost like a relish. You can see all the things in here. All the good little bits of flavors. I'm just going to come in here and give this a good taste. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm, so good. The fish, nice and flaky and tender. And that marinade, you can taste the dill and the lemon. Mm. And that tapanade, very acidic. You get the salty notes from the capers, the olives, give it kind of a meatiness. Just really a nice accompaniment to the fish. So, that was another Greek feast. As always, like and subscribe at the bottom. And until next time, bon appetit.